welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie, and if you saw the title of today's video, if I look annoyed, guys, don't take me personal. This Amber Heard situation, it gets more and more and more insane. Like I've said, I think I'm going to be ramping down. I'm starting to look at other topics to talk about, things I'm interested in. And then you see a headline, Amber stealing babies. But this is so interesting. I was like, you know what? I'm going to dive into this regardless because I'm really curious what this is. So let's back up for a second. I'm sure if you are watching me that you are aware that Johnny Depp, Amber Heard had their trial. She lost. Now the update is that she filed an appeal, got rejected by Judge A. Now she's in the Virginia Court of Appeals and just filed another appeal. So she's on her second appeal that she filed. Johnny Depp, in response, filed one to her. One claim she won. So now they have 3 months. Both of them have 3 months to come up with their arguments, and then I guess we will figure out whether or not these are approved or denied and whether or not we're going back to trial. But it looks like it's possible we're going to get season 2 of the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial, which I'm all for. It grows my channel, and it's wildly entertaining for me and hopefully for you too. We can giggle along with it. But there's some other really interesting topics I've been thinking about. Like one I want to dive into is Marilyn Manson, Evan Rachel Wood. Sound off in the comments if you'd like to see that. But what is this? So we know when it comes to Amber, Amber is very PR hungry. She does a lot of things for PR stunts. We also know because of the psychologist who had interviewed her and diagnosed her, she's got borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder. Now, I'm not here to diagnose. These are the things that came up in court. Okay, I couldn't do that. I don't have any credentials or anything for that. But in that, she has a desperate need for attention. She will do anything not to be abandoned, and she will change her whole personality or her likes, her dislikes, her morals as a result of getting attention in that moment, which has called into question all of her work she's done with the UN, and she's a domestic blank advocate and ambassador with all these things. And people have been pulling some stuff up and some videos have been surfacing. And there's one video that we're about to dive into where she steals a sick baby and yells at doctors and nurses who try to get it back. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And the whole video looks, I'll be honest, it looks really, really weird. And there's a lot of weird angles to it. So we are going to dive into it. But before we do, guys, if you're new and you like this kind of content, make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell. As always, would love to have you guys around. I just like to giggle at all the stuff we see in the mainstream news and laugh at it and see if we can extrapolate from it. Because we hear nothing about Ghislaine Maxwell jeffing an airplane and we don't get that black book. So let's laugh at how stupid all this stuff is that is just shoved in our faces and have some fun with it, right? Also, I'm giving away my $100 gift card. Super simple to be intern eligible. Helps you, helps me. This is all you have to do. Like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, watch a video from start to finish, and you're entered and you're eligible. I'll announce the winner August 1st. Almost nobody is doing this because my channel is still growing and small. So make sure and do this. You have a good shot of winning, and do it for every video you see because that's the more times you get entered. So good luck. All right. Y'all ready for the dumbest deep dive? Deep dive. It's too early. It's like 5 in the morning. Are you ready for the dumbest deep dive? I did it again! Dumbest deep dive. It's actually not 5 in the morning. Typically I wake up at 5. This is more like 7 in the morning. I slept in a little bit today. I'm so excited, guys. It's been since the middle of May that I went back to TikTok, I think. I haven't taken 1 day off. 1 day off of social media and putting up content since then. So what is that? That is May to June. So that's almost 2 months. 2 months of non-stop, which is fine. You know your girl. Your girl can hustle as long as my health can keep up, right? And even when it doesn't, somehow I find a way to do it. But I'm actually getting a day off tomorrow. My first day off. I'm so, if I can get my thumbnails done. Thumbnails are like the vein of my existence. I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to shut up and talk. That's like my favorite. I feel like that's a famous phrase of mine here. I'm going to shut up and talk. Okay, so this is a video that was unearthed. I'm going to play it for you. I'm not going to read anything. I want to play you the video and let you see the whole clip in its entirety. Here we go. So that is without anything, and you guys know how I like to do things. Like, I like to try to be as fair and balanced as I possibly can. I also try not to be mean. Like, I don't want to ever, my goal is not to be mean to people, right? Like, I'll laugh at how silly something is, but I'm not trying to, like, put somebody down or bully somebody. But I wanted to give you guys just the full clip and the full, so you just can see it for yourself without any information and weigh it. So let me explain some of what you saw. The backstory is Amber Heard said, so she grew up in Texas, and apparently her dad worked, he worked in Mexico a lot. So he would work, or like they worked and lived right alongside the border. And as a result, she had a lot of family friends and people that they knew that were Mexican. And so she heard and saw stories of the fact that people in Mexico were having a really, really difficult time when it comes to, all different types of humanitarian issues. She says this is part of what shaped her to want to do the kind of work that she's done with the UN and being a domestic blank survivor and all of that, right? So as a result of that, what we're seeing here is apparently she had made like a sizable donation to some type of Mexican hospital, and she was going down there. Now, what you're looking at, and this is where it gets kind of disturbing. If you look at the beginning of the video, she kind of snatches the baby and people are trying to get it back and kind of fuss with it. And then you see her saying some what look like kind of aggressive statements in Spanish. So let me explain and then she's, taking it and parading it around, and then she gives it to this couple. So let me explain to you a little more of what you're seeing. Those were doctors and nurses that she took the baby from. The reports are that baby was very, very sick and just got out of surgery and should have not been held and handled in almost any way, shape, or form. And she just took the baby. The nurses and the doctor were trying to get the baby back, and she told them, I've got the baby, go over there, go over there. So, and I'll play the clip again so you guys can see more of what's going on. And then she takes it and she's acting real loving and she gives it back to the parents. But there's no real reason for that. Like it's not like we're transferring, there was a reason to transfer the baby. So what this conclusion is that she literally set this up and staged this for her PR to make her look like she's this loving, wonderful person who's doing this great thing for children, when in reality, she's using a baby, a very sick baby that just got out of surgery, as a prop, and she's bullying and bossing nurses and doctors around who are trying to make sure the child is safe, who is very sick. Another thing to point out is apparently one of the devices started screaming. You'll hear it. And we'll play it again. I'll play it again and you can see more of what I'm talking about. See if you pick up on it. And that's the oximeter, I think is what it's called. And that in taking the baby, some of the equipment the baby was hooked up to ended up getting off of the baby. And that's why the equipment is screaming. And the doctors are trying to fix that and she won't let them. So I want to play this again and see if you can pick up on this. But before I do, there's a whole Reddit thread about this. And you guys know I typically there are some channels that cover this stuff that will go into comments and they'll go into the comment section, which more power to them. I typically don't because I just have enough commentary I give anyway. But there are a lot of interesting points in the comments. So I want to go over some of these with you. So some of these, like one person says, of all the clips, this one makes me sad for her. She needs serious psychiatric help and she'll never get it. Just wind up until she explodes. There's no happy ending for her. She needs ECT or ayahuasca. Somebody else says, serious Meghan Markle, mommy dearest vibes there. That's another thing. I read that and, a lot of people rail on Meghan. I'm a little bit, I don't know, I would put it this way. I don't know as much about the situation there. I do know sometimes for the people who do this advocacy work and people like Meghan, a lot of this can come across as staged and fake and like they're really wanting to, it's more about wanting to portray an image of like a Mother Teresa type, which look into her. That's a real interesting character there anyways. There's a lot of reports that she did a lot of human trafficking and that's somebody we're supposed to look up to. This world just gets, and the people in it, guys, just get weirder and weirder the more you actually open your eyes and see what's going on with stuff. But, so a lot of people will say that about Meghan Markle, that Meghan Markle does all this stuff and it's just all for an image and she's dragging Harry around. So, I don't know. The royals are weird because people like to demonize Meghan, but that whole family is just in a slew of crap, and Prince Andrew, I think, even if Megan is some attention-seeking PR person. She is the absolute least of all their worries compared to what probably really goes on behind the scenes with all that evil. I don't know. That's my very, very, very limited opinion. Just so you're aware, like, that's very, very limited of me. And so it says, no one compares to the psychopath Amber. Somebody says her attitude. Man, if I would have... I don't want to say that because I don't want to promote any sort of physical not niceness. Selfish and self-serving. Now the world will know you lie as we breathe. I promise these aren't just all insulting. There's some good stuff in here. Billions of people stand with Johnny Depp, who gives 2 sweet F's what this person does or says. Then, okay, here, this was one. Her attempt at Spanish is awful. She sounds ridiculous. Trying to tell the nurse to go over there so she can continue her photo op with the prop sick baby. What kind of sick F does stuff like this for attention? No one can say she actually gives a blank because her fake pledge proved this. Well, and that's the other thing. She pledged all this money to children's charities in LA and the hospitals and never actually did anything with it, but then parades around a very sick baby and is bossing nurses and doctors around. It says she has an uber-focused image, fitting with what everyone else says about her jealousy and obsession with JD. It says this was in Mexico in 2018. She was visiting a clinic supported by the Smile Train, and you'll see that on the back of the Scrub Smile Train charity. It offers surgery for children with cleft palate. There's a longer version of the video, that's the one that I showed you, showing the reaction of the parents. Amber looks like she's trying to play a saint. Feel sorry for everyone involved. The nurses and parents must have been so worried about having this woman randomly snatch up the baby. Also imagine coming around from anesthetic to find you're being held by a stranger. It's the baby, right? It says, you know the feeling you get from the uncanny valley? That's how I feel when seeing her act like this. They are not genuine emotions portrayed on her face. It's all so fake. Somebody else says, it reminded me of old kids' cartoons where the princess holds a beautiful dress in front of her, then the princess dances, sweeping around the room, trying to avoid the furniture. Imagine how she will look at the ball. But this version involves a baby and some nurses. However, her facial expressions are from some bad soap opera. This is the love face. This is the awe face. Her expressions switch on and off in such a marked way. I think that contributes to the uneasy feeling. And that's something else, as we know throughout the trial, she's been accused of, is she'll one moment look like one emotion completely and then just shut it off. She'll cry without tears. There are things like that with her that make everything seem disingenuous. So with this video, I think for a lot of people, it seems really, really disingenuous how she's trying to come across so loving and so expressive. Like, it's really hypocritical. And it says, I know it's so creepy. She holds the baby so awkwardly to show it off to the camera at times, just like holding it normally would have been enough. Like, here's my prize. The pass the parcel thing at the end was so overdone too, with all the fussing and wrapping. I thought she would put the baby on the empty bed she passed. Seems like a sensible place for the baby to be in the recovery room. Instead, she does the waltz around the room with the poor kid. So, well, she shouldn't be parading and holding it if it's just got out of surgery anyway, right? You don't do that with anybody. It says, all her performatively thick twirling and whirling for the camera with her hand over her mouth, eyes misty. This isn't about you, Starlet Zilla. Literally, no one cares that you are there. No one cares how sensitive you are. Somebody says, also, this is super petty, but I've never seen Scrubs be such a perfect fit on anyone in real life. Either she's really lucky or she made sure she got a set that looked good for the camera. Another person says, and by the way, I'm almost done reading these, and then I want to play it for you guys, and you can see it again, now seeing some of this. It says, what the F? I just watched the clip and it was worse than I thought. Those nurses are trying to get the baby back, or at the very least, adjust something, and Amber literally turns away holding the baby and angrily head motions them to go away while saying something. Yeah, you don't use a sick baby as a prop. You sick blank. It says, and now she has her very own prop, talking about her baby. Can anybody translate what's being said here? And somebody and what was being said from my understanding and reading a lot of stuff was basically telling the nurses, I've got the baby, go over there, and telling them to go somewhere else. And so somebody says, come on, she pledged to not give the baby permanent brain damage. Isn't that enough, people? Now, the very last comment goes like this. It says, some kind of photo op where she went to a children's hospital, chose a baby to pose with. One comment says the baby had just gotten out of surgery. The nurses were trying to stop her, but she told them to go away. And somebody says, I mean, The beeping sounds in the background sounds like a disconnected pulse oximeter. Probably why the nurses were freaking out. So now I want to go back, play the clip again. Now that you've seen all that, tell me what you think. All right, so you've seen the clip in its entirety. We've gone over. I'm curious, what do you guys think of this? Sound off in the comments and tell me what you think. I'm very curious. As well, guys, if you're new here, you like this video, make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and the $100 gift card giveaway helps you, helps me, and not many people are doing it, so you have a good shot. Just like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, watch the video from start to finish. And I feel like I'm gonna go scrub my brain. All right, guys, that's it for me here. Take care, lots of love, lots of blessings. Until the next video, guys, I'm giving everybody hugs, mwah, kisses, stay safe, and as always, I will see you soon. Bye, guys.